Captain's log, 26th of January 2017. Well, we're still in the first week of my new look, and I'm getting used to it. I'm somewhere between Mark Strong and Midge Ure. I don't know if Midge actually does that with his eyebrow, but Mark definitely does that. And I don't think that's a bad space to be who you look like in between. Other than that, big news, obviously. So there's 4 or 5 days to go before I start my actual treatment. Day 1 on the Monday will be radiotherapy, but importantly, day 2, Tuesday, that's my designated chemo day. Now, chemotherapy. Chemotherapy works by destroying cells that are splitting quickly, which is what you want them to do, because that's what the tumour cells are doing. So it wants to attack that and get rid of that because they repair, or it stops them repairing. That's the point to them. But also, you have to bear in mind that that's what your sperm cells are doing. They're splitting quickly, so they're an easy target for the chemo. Now, chemotherapy, it depends a lot because it can vary. So the age of the patient is one consideration. 2 is the type of chemotherapy you're getting. The one that I'm getting is this one. And also, so that's there's a how strong or how weak that mixture is. So that's very important. And also how many doses that you get, how many treatments that you get, by which. So those are something to bear in mind. But also, the very, very last door that you don't want to break down is if you finish off your spermatogonial stem cell production, then there is no way back. So you have to guard against that. So ever hopeful as I am, clearly I'm not good looking, but I am someone's style. So for the future, I thought it only prudent to save a little pot full of royal jelly. So I organised a trip to a fertility clinic, and or Medisplash, as I think I'm allowed to call it. And I went down there and made a deposit, but I didn't go on my own. I took some comfort with me, and something to help stimulate me, and I wanted someone that we can all connect with. She's a big firm favourite of mine, Sarah, and she was very good in keeping me focused, shall we say. Yeah, there's her there, look her nice little lips there all puckered up, lovely. So Sarah helped me with my moment, and don't worry about the picture because it's all laminated, making it very wipeable. So there's no, it's a keeper. It's a keeper. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. During the visit to the Medisplash Centre, I was told that afterwards I would, when they checked everything, they would give me an update on my scores. The scores, as in how many sperm you have, and the other one, the more important one, is how active they are. So the World Health Organization has a motil count. Motil being motility, rather, is their, their how they move, and there's actually a variety of that. There's some of them that move, they're pretty direct where they're going. There's other ones that sort of wiggle about and meander. They're just having a bimble, really. But they do get there, and then there's other ones that are just totally confused. They go, oh, well, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where I'm going. And then there's other ones that just sit there and go, oh, I can't be bothered. So you've got to hope that you're at least in the top 2 of those, Sort of 20% is the worst you'd like to be, and more than that. So you're looking at being plus 60. Plus 60% is the positive zone. So you've got to feel good about yourself there, and I feel particularly good about that. I don't mind giving personal information. I was a 61%, dangerous. And the number of sperm you would want to be, or number of active sperm would be over, again, WHO numbers, you would want to be over 15 million. And I come in at a very reasonable 318 million. I think you'd really want to be hitting around the 300 million, but I had 318, which I That's in the first team and playing in major games as far as I'm concerned. That's not bench, that's you're in the first team and you're in that team regularly. So yeah, I'm just saying. So if you ever see me publicly, don't get too close because I'm just emanating fertility. You might just go home with some. Like I say, I'm ever hopeful. If you feel that you'd like to apply, then do. Do you want little Brodie kids? Okay, so Monday the 30th, that's day one on radiotherapy treatment, and the preparation for that was to get a mask made, which is a sort of stretchy net-like thing that they warm up in a bath and then they push it down and stretch it over your face, but it needs to be a really, really tight fit, hence the beard. Was made to go. So we went in and went through the process. The idea of it is that at the end of the day it gets not particularly bolted, but it gets clamped to the table so that you're not moving at all. And if you've got any beardy hair in there, then by the time that falls out, that would create a little bit of space for you to move. So the process that happened was actually, I found it quite spa-like, because it's like having, when you see proper shaving going on and they put hot towels on your face, it felt like that. So you got a nice warm feeling going all over your face and your shoulders, it's all nice. And then 3 siren type nurses stroking away at your face and all around your neck and your shoulders and talking over you in soft tones. That's really nice. That's like a really close fit. So that was quite spa-like. And the end result, because they bolt you down and they do all that, obviously, because when it cools it wants to be as tight as possible. So it was firm without being too firm, and I think I've discovered that I'm probably more playful than I ever imagined, because it was reassuring and nice restricted movement bolted to a table. Who knew? So learning a lot about myself, but definitely if you've never had a spa treatment, lots of lady people rubbing and stroking your face, I would certainly suggest that that's something you get on your bucket list, or just do it anyway as often as you can. Really nice, felt good. That felt, with all those hands and everything, that's what I understand how the Queen's face is washed, you know. Really quite pleased. What do you think? So, you know, if they did that on aeroplanes, I would just fly from me all the time and get off going, that was tremendous, bolting to the thing. That was really, that's nice. So let's just, let's do a quick recap there. So what do you know about me? If this is the first time in meeting me, you should now be happy and safe in the knowledge that I'm most comforted and happy when I'm stroking my nutsack. I'm happy to wear masks and be bolted down to the table. That's so makes me more playful than I thought. And of course, I'm very fertile and I got good, strong swimmers. So ladies, form a queue. Please don't worry, the show's not turned into on your deathbed or any something silly. We still do bikes, and there will be more bike stuff coming up. So last weekend we managed to go back up to Gibbo's and we met a few people with some beautiful bikes, and so that's still on the cards, and a lot of silliness and beautiful things to come up. We know you're going to enjoy that. So sometimes I'm in a place where I'm talking about, I'm not panicky or worried about the thing, but that's probably ignorance of what's to come or other things. But it's at the same time, I'm meeting a lot of people who've got much more, they've gotten other news, which is probably, you know, not news that they wanted to hear, in the footprint of there's nothing we can do, and you've got a time frame. So I wouldn't want that anybody thinks I'm being too flippant or any kind of that, but I can only speak from the place that I'm in and just say there's a lot. As soon as you get diagnosed and you start talking to people, there's an awful lot of it, and when you get in amongst the people that are getting the treatment, it's a huge wide body of people. So I don't want to come across as being anything other than what I am, but I'm simply saying that, but this is how I'm feeling it, and this is how it is moving forward. As far as I'm concerned, at this stage at least, I've only got 6 weeks to push through, and we'll see what happens at the end. I don't have to wake up in a war zone every day. I don't have to. There's lots of people going through an awful lot worse than this. I'm very, very sure on that. What I've found is that the feedback that I'm getting, it's all I was trying to do, it was a suggestion that was made that why don't you do this? So we thought, yeah, why not? Okay, so it's a kind of just a catalogue of what you will expect, because it's a quick process. You get diagnosed, you get in for a few kind of things, and then the only thing on your calendar is hospital appointments, lots of blood being given and running through the thing. So it's just a nuts and bolts of then this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then you can expect to be like this, then like this, then like this. So just, you know, an A to Z of how it goes. But there's been some beautiful feedback from people that it's connected, that it explains their situation, and it's helpful. No, you can't ask for any more than that, and that it's doing that. I'm very touched that it's managing to do that. If on the other hand you think, shut up talking about cancer, can we talk about bikes? Like I said, we're trying to also tick that box, and we will be back to all that nonsense later. So don't panic, don't worry, and don't go away.